50 persons lost their lives in a petrol tank explosion in Niger State. Here in Osun State, Governor Oyedele assures residents of safety following arrest of suspected terrorists. The 12 political parties contest Ondo chairmanship councillor seat election. On the foreign scene, the Gaza ceasefire agreement to take effect 6:30 a.m. GMT Sunday as Israeli cabinet ratified deal. Good evening. This is News at 7 on West Spring Television. My name is Tomilola Daniel. We begin on a sad note as no fewer than 50 persons lost their lives in a petrol tank explosion this morning along the Kumaje Road in the Suleja local government area of Niger State. Many others sustained various degrees of injury while trying to scoop fuel after a petrol tanker split its content on the tarred road. The state's Federal Road Safety Commander, Kumar Skukwam, confirmed this to the news agency of Nigeria in Minna, the state capital. He said the loaded petrol tanker fell at the scene of the incident, with people scooping the spilling fuel, unaware of the impending danger. Sukwam said those who went to scoop fuel were engulfed by the flames, just as those who went to rescue them were also affected. Meanwhile, the state governor, Muhammad Bago, has expressed shock at the incident and called on security agencies to ensure there was adequate security while other humanitarian agents were working to restore normalcy in the area. To security matters, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has approved the distribution of new kits and uniforms to personnel of the police force in other ranks as part of ongoing effort to improve officers' welfare and enhance professionalism. The Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, disclosed this in a statement this afternoon. According to the statement, the initiative aligns with the police boss vision to foster better working conditions and elevate the standards of professionalism within the force. The IGP also expressed optimism that the implementation of the 2025 budget would enable additional welfare-focused projects to support officers in effectively discharging their duties. Here in Osun State, Governor Oyedele has assured residents of the state of the safety of their lives and properties. The governor gave the assurance while commending personnel of the Department of State Services, DSS, on the arrest of 10 suspected members of Boko Haram in Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, in the Ilesha area of the state. Governor Oyedele, in a statement by spokesperson Olawale Rashid on Saturday, held the alertness of security operatives in eliminating the threats posed by the suspected terrorists. He stated that the security agencies were up to the task of sustaining peace and security of every part of the country. The governor further assured that his administration will continue to support security agencies and their operations to ensure maximum protection of lives and property of residents in the state, noting that this remains top of his priority. Still with security, the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, has urged the newly recruited officers of the state security network, codenamed Amotekun Corps, to protect the lives of citizens rather than threaten or harass them. The governor spoke during the passing out parade ceremony of 690 new recruits of Batch D held at the State Stadium in Shagamu on Saturday. Governor Abiodun noticed that the initiative is part of the administration's ongoing commitment to enhancing security and public safety through well-trained personnel. The governor reiterating that the state will not serve as a shelter for criminal element, commended the Corps Commander, retired Brigadier General Alade Adedigba, for his effort in ensuring that the training aligns with the best practices. Governor Abiodun also announced the approval of the extra recruitment of 1,000 Amotekun Corps and assured that the officers will be remunerated in line with the civil service structure. In his welcome address, the Corps Commander, Alade Adejigba, thanked the governor for believing in them and providing resources to empower the Corps in serving the communities. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has launched a new security operation in the state to curb the spate of kidnappings, killings, car snatching, and other vices. He promised to pay up to 5 million naira to whistleblowers that provide information that leads to the arrest of any kidnappers. The governor, who launched Operation Udoga Achi, meaning peace shall reign, also unveiled the state's new security agency, Agune Chamber, which is said comprised of over 2,000 operatives drawn from various security agencies. The governor had earlier in the day disbursed about 200 vehicles to various security agencies to strengthen the operations. The governor said initially people linked the criminals to the Biafran struggle, while many others who watched the event shortly before the 2021 governorship election attributed it to politics, noting that today it has become an enterprise geared towards making money. He added that security agencies are doing their best in the state, and it is owed to ensure that they function properly by providing logistical support and also declaring full war if need be.
We must have measured, consistent, and persistent intervention. But the citizens themselves must rise up to take back their communities, as the case may be. To conclude, in the Anambra, I want to remind us that security is our collective responsibility. Government alone cannot do it. Federal security agencies alone cannot do it. Sustainable security in our homeland requires full-scale involvement of responsible citizenship. These criminals are our brothers, sisters, husbands, relations, friends, and others. They are not spirits. They live amongst us, and we know them. The fact is that 99% of these criminals arrested in Anambra since my 34 months in office are Igbos. The false narrative that is a Fulani headsman and so on and so forth has not been borne out by the evidence. What we're saying is just lucrative criminality. Lucrative criminality. People are going to do this for ransom. They're just going into it to make money. Full stop. Any other narrative is just to confuse the matter. This is what it is. It is criminality. And there are Igbos on Igbos. Igbos killing Igbos, not any other thing. And for us, we are fighting a different kind of organized armies of criminals, a kind that Anambra has never seen before. But we must prevail. We must all collectively confront the warped ideology and the agitation that lead many amongst us to view security personnel as the enemy and the criminals as the liberators. Those who contribute food and money and send to the criminals in the bushes are part of the problem, and we will begin to treat them as collaborators and criminals.
Today, contested for the chairmanship and councillor offices in the election held across all 18 local government areas of Ondo State, although several other political parties were screened and cleared for the poll. Only 12 parties participated in the election, with the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, withdrawing from the exercise. The PDP had earlier in the week said it does not believe in the Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct a credible election. Moving on, the Lagos state government has ordered the closure of Smiley Kids Montessori School, located in Heritage Place Estate, Songotedo, following a swimming pool accident that claimed the life of a 2-year-old girl, Raphael Ogbodo. The announcement was made via a statement shared on the Lagos State Government official X account today. According to the statement, officials from the Lagos State Safety Commission and the Office of Education Quality Assurance under the Ministry of Education have visited the school to conduct a preliminary investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. It's noted that the school has been sealed off to allow for a thorough investigation as well as identify potential lapses that led to the unfortunate death. It will be recalled that on Thursday, a woman simply identified as Ella had called for justice following the death of a 2-year-old daughter at a school in Lagos. She explained that her daughter left for school on Wednesday but did not return alive. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Taraba State University chapter, has suspended its ongoing strike after just 1 month. The body commenced the strike action on December 5th, 2025, over the partial implementation of multiple memoranda of understanding and memoranda of action agreed between the Taraba State Government and the union since 2014. Calling off the action, the union said some of its disputes have been addressed, including funding of the university, earned academic allowances, staff pension and gratuity, the backlog of salaries, the constitution of the Governing Council, and minimum wage adjustment. It said the government has made commitment that through the Governing Council, it will enhance university funding in line with the state law of 2008. The union also said the earned academic allowances an initial payment of 10% of the total accumulated sum has been disbursed. Subsequently, 5% of the accumulated sum will be released monthly, commencing in February 2025 until the entire arrears are fully defrayed. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has shut down a pharmacy in Onisha Crescent, Area 11, Garki, Abuja, for selling expired and unregistered drugs. The agency made this known in a statement shared on X on Saturday, noting that during the raid, the team discovered expired products valued at over 7 million naira. The agency disclosed that the action followed a tip-off from a concerned citizen, prompting an enforcement operation by NAFDAC officials. It stated that despite attempts by the pharmacy staff to obstruct the operation, the enforcement team successfully confiscated the expired product and secured the premises. It added that the pharmacy's managing director and superintendent pharmacist were arrested for questioning as part of the investigation. NAFDAC further urged the public to remain vigilant when purchasing regulated products and report suspicious activities to the nearest NAFDAC office. In another development, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has assured Nigerians that the ongoing economic reforms by the Bola Ahmed administration are beginning to yield good results. Mr. Oyedele gave the assurance in his speech while enlightening their audience on the benefit of the ongoing reforms on the platform organized by the Confident Nation this afternoon. He emphasized that removing petrol subsidies is the best decision Nigeria could ever make, noting that the economy was doing worse than it ought to, despite it supposedly being the largest in Africa. He stated that Nigeria used all its revenue to service debt, adding that everything other thing done, from payment of salaries to fighting Boko Haram, were just borrowing. He further cautioned against the use of wrong data to analyze the country's economy.
But you also know that this where we could have been. People misanalyze it, and sometimes we use wrong data for making decisions. If your diagnoses are wrong, your prescriptions will be wrong, and the solutions will not fix the problem. In fact, you end up creating more problems than before. And some of these issues is people will say, there's excess money supply, and I'm saying it's wrong or right. But if you put it in context, like cash in circulation, is 4-point-something trillion in an economy of 260 trillion. Look around the world. What's the percentage of cash in circulation? We should be praising ourselves instead of beating ourselves up. People will say everybody has jackpot. No. You look at the data, Nigeria is not even top in Africa, including everybody that has been abroad ever. And people that just joined them. Nigeria is not even up to average. It's below the global average. People will say that government is too big and we need to cut it down. You know, I said I'm going to challenge some of your thoughts. Do you know that the size of the public service in Nigeria, everybody employed by government, MDAs, local government, state government, federal government, is under 5 million? In the US, the number of public servants, people employed by the government, is over 22 million. The US is 330 million people. We were 240. They're not even very far from us. If we prorate, Nigeria is supposed to be around 15 million, isn't it? So the problem with Nigeria's public sector is not a size problem. It is an efficiency and productivity problem. So why don't we focus on that which is important to the outcomes we want?
Elsewhere, the Minister of Power, Oyedele, has decried the incessant vandalism of critical power transmission equipment in the country. Mr. Oyedele made this known at the official inauguration of a 100 megawatt of a power transformer at the 132/33 kilowatt transmission substation in Isolo, Lagos. According to the minister, the issue of the vandalism inexperienced in all the transformer networks across the country is disturbing. The minister further urged all stakeholders, from government agencies to private sector partners and local communities, to work collaboratively to ensure the sustainability and security of the nation's power equipment.
It can be very, very discouraging, it can be very, very depressing when you completed transmission installations and just few days or few weeks after, they are brought down by vandals. They are demolished and destroyed. This is an act of sabotage. And it shows that we don't love ourselves. This does not happen in any other parts of the world. A lot of places are in darkness today, not for wanting of electrical installations, but by self-inflicted destruction of these installations.
You're watching news at 7 on West Spring Television. Still to come. A Gaza ceasefire agreement to take effect 6:30 a.m. GMT Sunday. We'll bring you more on this when we return. Please stay with us.